Well, this is the second 3 videos in a short period of time. UFC 120, so or was it UFC 122? I can't even remember now. 121 apparently, I'm told. Caught two of the prelim fights before the pay-per-view itself started. We had Mike Gaiman versus Dan Roberts. A lot of dancing to begin with, but following some punches, Roberts did a standing guillotine and took it down. Even did a gator roll, but didn't break the hold. It wound up in an anaconda, and Given had to tap out. So pretty quick match. Roberts got the win, got it 2 stars. Brendan Schaub versus Gabriel Gonzaga. I have to wonder why an Ultimate Fighter winner is being stuck on the prelim show. Wouldn't like to guess, but maybe he's annoyed Dana White. Round one, basically lots of dancing. Some nice tags and exchange from Schaub. But Gonzaga wasn't just standing there taking it, he was giving out a few exchanges of his own. Has to be said though, Gonzaga was saved by the horn because Schaub just started throwing some really wicked combos, and Gonzaga was in trouble. Round two, Schaub was trying to box Gonzaga in. Gonzaga was having none of it though. Gonzaga slipped following a leg kick. Schaub didn't really use it to his advantage. He had Gonzaga backed up, threw some nice punches round about the 2 minutes mark. But he kept backing down, he didn't go in for the kill, which was pretty stupid because the opportunity was there. And eased off until the end of the round. Round three, Gonzaga had some great takedown defence going here, and he kept getting in close. But they kept getting into close quarters though. Schaub was throwing good combos. Gonzaga threw a couple of decent kicks, but nothing else. Couple of late punch combos from Schaub. Although Gonzaga stopped a takedown attempt. Couple of times, like I said, Schaub could have finished this, but he didn't. I would have given all 3 rounds to him though, and the fact of the matter is the judges agreed with me on that, so Schaub won by unanimous decision from the judges. Proper pay-per-view started with Diego Sanchez versus Paulo Thiago. Nice combo by Thiago, but it led to a standing choke attempt. They gave up on this, and Thiago took Sanchez down and did some nice ground and pound. Thiago had an obsession with the Darce choke here. Kept on getting it up, but Sanchez kept on getting free. Did this great takedown when he actually pushed, where Sanchez pushed Thiago into the fence so he couldn't do anything in return, but somehow he managed to stand back up. I would have given the first round to Thiago. Second round, you got some excellent combos by Thiago. Sanchez took him down quite messily, so I don't know if I would have scored it. Thiago kept trying for an arm lock while he was on his back, but then kept elbowing Sanchez in the back of the head. Got into trouble for this, but immediately tried for a Gomorrah. Sanchez escaped for some ground and pound, but Thiago rolled through and back onto the feet. Sanchez then landed this evil power slam from one side of the octagon to the other. But he nearly DDT'd himself in the process. Ended with some nice combos by Thiago when he got it back on his feet, but not enough. Sanchez for me took the second round, so at this point I was thinking 1 round apiece. Round 3, Thiago screwed up a takedown, letting Sanchez on top. Thiago got another Komodo, but again Sanchez escaped. At this point, Sanchez got the back and got on this awesome leg triangle that Thiago just could not break no matter what he tried. Sanchez kept trying to get a sleeper hold on Paulo, but Paulo just broke free. Sanchez back on top quick though, they scrambled around and Paulo tried for the darce choke again but lost it. Sanchez back on top for some ground and pound, and at the end of the day I would have said it was 2-1 for Sanchez. Judges agreed and it was an absolute superb match. I gave it 5 stars. Tito versus Hamill. This was Master versus Student from the Ultimate Fighter days. If Tito's injury was as bad as he was making out during the last season of the Ultimate Fighter, I don't think he's ready. But at the same time, the only reason that Hamill beat Bones Jones was because of a dodgy disqualification. So, tight match here. Tito nailed Hamill in the chin really early on, and he stood. Then he caught a kick attempt by Tito and took him down, but he nearly put himself immediately into a headlock doing it. Back on their feet, there was a nice spinning Hurricane from Tito, but that was sadly blocked. Despite that takedown, I'd have to give the first round to Tito because simply his stand-up the whole round was constant, continual. It was always good. I have to give him the credit on that one. Round 2, basically they were dancing around. There was a couple of leg kicks. Hamill then got some nice body work later on. He did a takedown around the 2:17 mark, but there was good guard by Tito who threw from the ground well. He was down on his back, but he was throwing stuff. Not that Hamill wasn't replying. Some rolling around gave Hamill side control, and he used it to throw elbows. And he had Tito in trouble at this point. I'm going to say that, one round apiece at this point. Round 3 kicked off. Roundhouse kick from Ortiz. Really looked like it hurt Hamill. Really looked like it hurt bad. They kept throwing punches and bunches from both, but there was no intention behind them. They were throwing plenty, but there was no intention behind them whatsoever. Ortiz kept pushing it through, but he got taken down by Hamill at the 1:25 mark, and Hamill was grounding Tito with his elbows and some punches. He kept it down. No matter what Tito did, he couldn't get back up. So I would say 2 rounds to Hamill, 1 round to Ortiz. I gave the score 29-27. The judges gave it a unanimous decision to Hamill as well, but one of the judges is rated at 30-27. I mean, what planet was this guy on? What fight was he watching? 3.5, I'd say. Martin Cameron versus Jake Shields was next. Shields making his debut from Strikeforce. Not the dominant performance I thought he might give us. He got Cameron down quick. He got trapped under Cameron's arms. Eventually escaped to get on top. And he got a really evil looking face lock on Cameron. I mean, Cameron was squirming like a worm. I really thought he was going to tap out at this point. But they got back up after a failed guillotine, and then they started to play hug on the fence a lot. I'd have to give the first round to Shields, but I wasn't particularly impressed with what we got there. Shields in the second round failed a takedown and started hugging on the fence and giving knees. He then kneed Cameron right in the head, and Cameron just went down. I thought that was it, especially when Jake immediately followed this up with a darce attempt. There's a darce attempt again. The guys seemed to have a bet in the locker room over who could get the most attempts last night. But Cameron escaped, got to his feet, and gave another knee to the head. Shields just went down again, and really, the guy has the ability to recover really quickly, I have to say. I really did think he was beaten for the second time here, and he just surprised me by being able to get back up. Um, Cartman kept the things down. Cartman kept things on the ground for a long time, but eventually slipped back up. Give the second round to Shields, but just because he had more of the ground game and he recovered so well from what Cameron was throwing at him. Round 3 kicked off with a nice head kick by Cameron. Then another knee followed that up. He stopped 2 takedown attempts, and he was also on top for a fair bit with ground and pound. Shields looked exhausted here. He just couldn't do anything. Cameron tried a Darce attempt. What was this? Night of Darces. Jake did eventually get on top, but he did nothing. He just got a body lock on and threw weak punches. So really the third round has to go to Cameron as far as I'm concerned. 2-1 to Shields, without any question on it. Judges didn't agree, it was a split decision. Go figure. Rate the match about 3 stars. Don't agree with where the judges went. I thought Shields won this just, but I didn't think it deserved a split decision. I don't agree with the split decision we got out of it. And finally we got Lesnar versus Velasquez. Hang on a minute, that can't be right. There was a lot more to this event than just that, surely. Yeah, apparently not. Lesnar versus Velasquez. I suspected there may be a new world champion on this one simply because Lesnar really struggled in his title defence against Carwin. Add to that the fact that Velasquez is undefeated. Lesnar really came out of the blocks fast and he was killing Velasquez early. Velasquez turned it around. Even when Lesnar took Velasquez down a second time, he was back up pretty quick. Threw a good head kick. Then he took Brock down, which I have to admit I was surprised by. Threw punches and bunches, ground and pound. Lesnar got back up, but he really was looking as if he was in trouble. And the minute he did get back up, that was it. Velasquez was just in for the kill, looking to destroy the guy, and he did. He absolutely murdered Lesnar. Lesnar's face was just a crimson mask of blood. Dean basically, as it happened in the match against Carwin, the referee had to warn Lesnar to defend himself, and this time Lesnar couldn't, and that was it. Stopped the match. Cain Velasquez is the new World Heavyweight Champion, and Lesnar looked awful. I guess it's a case of lose the beard, Lesnar, it must be bad luck. 3 stars, nothing spectacular apart from the fact that it was an absolute crush job on Lesnar. I thought Velasquez was going to win the title, but I have to admit I didn't suspect in a million years he would kill Lesnar in the way he did. Pretty good event. So got a Rangers win, and then I got what was a pretty good UFC pay-per-view as well. So no complaints. If you get a chance to go and see it, get it seen.